Let's just finish it off, going back to index.js. Now we got everything constructed correctly. Now just gotta save that file, posts.json, right? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna reference posts, right? Remember, post is a variable that holds all the posts that were loaded. Now we're going to take that, I'm going to push something to the end. Post is a variable that holds an array. An array has many elements. To add an element to the end, we say push.push and a new post. Now this is going to add to the post array here, but that post variable is only memory. It's not actually saved to the file. So we have to save it to the file by overwriting it. So in order to do that, we have to leverage the fs or file system module, okay, to write the file. So let's go up here and quickly do require fs under quotes and put that in a variable we call fs. This is the file system module from Node.js. It will allow us to write to a file. So we're going to go here and say, okay, fs dot, it has many functions, okay? One of them is write file sync. And we can use this to write to a file. Okay, it needs to know where's the file. So we can say, okay, posts.json, comma, second argument. Okay, what's the data you want to write? Well, we want the post, but it has to be text, right? Right now, it's an array of objects in JavaScript. So we have to use the JSON module. Now we kind of do the, remember what we did in the front end, stringify, like so. Now we need stringify what? Well, the post. Now, if you do it this way, it will eliminate all white space, and you probably will see everything without nicely formatted stuff. So if you want to keep the formatting of indentation, you add some options here, comma, no, comma, 2. Now, the second one doesn't matter, so we say no. But the third argument means how many spaces for the indentation do you want to apply? I want 2. So this is just to pretty print the file. If you don't have that, you're going to see everything in the same line. It's going to be really ugly to see. Okay, now let's add a third argument to the writeFileSync. It's very important. That's the encoding. Now, you want to make sure to always encode stuff in UTF-8. So the encoding is going to be UTF-8 -8. Okay, so this will write to the file. Let's try it out. I'm going to go to the front end. Let's just refresh this. We don't need the breakpoint anymore because we debugged this. So you can click here, either right-click here and remove all, or you can click on the line again. Okay, I don't care about that anymore. Close that. Now we know it's working. Click send. Now I want to watch the file in the Visual Studio Code. Posts.json. You can see now at the end, hello is there. Okay, so we add to the end and overwrote the file with the new title there, new message. Now, if we go back to the front end and refresh, let's see here. I was expecting one thing you gotta watch out is, let's see, if you kill the server, it might post push. I was expecting to see hello there. So why didn't I see hello? Let's think about it. Oh, because it's only taking the first 10, right? That's why I didn't see hello there when I refreshed. So if you look at this, there's more than 10, and the front end is actually filtering out all of the posts, only takes the very first 10 ones. So if you want to change that, remove the slice 010 from line 14 in app.js. So it doesn't filter out the posts. And we can try seeing the front end again and refreshing. Even though it's a mess in CSS, the style, you can see at the end, there's a hello, which is actually what we had just added initially. One challenge for you is fix this so that there's a scroll bar here in this container so you can scroll down if there's too many messages. But that's for another time. Okay, if you want to prevent that, you can do the slice again there. You can even take maybe the last 10. I think you can do -10, I wonder. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that works. Anyway. Yeah, one thing to notice here is I assumed that the message that we sent to the server side was properly inserted, but there could be errors. Maybe the backend can reject your message. So that's why we don't always want to set this message here, but only when it's successful. So you want to move this setting of the message here up to the .then of the created post here, and you can remove this console log. And if you ever get any errors, I'll leave it as a challenge for you. You can put a .catch here with a callback of the error function like this, and you have to handle the error here. Maybe you can create a state variable that will hold an error message, and you can set that like set error to fail to post message, something like that. And then you can go scroll down here and put I don't know, you can go here to the send or even outside and add a div with the error if there is an error, something like that. This is just a draft, so it's you gotta use state up there and so on, but just some hints if you want to handle the error there. Now to simulate an error, you can always go here and throw new error failed. And this will simulate having an error. So every time there's an error anywhere in this promise chain, it will jump to the catch block and execute whatever. So if I put a throw new error here with whatever message, that's how I simulate the error, okay? Error simulation to test.catch below. So that's an exercise I'll leave for you if you're interested in building upon that. All right, so that's it for today.